I prepared a presentation on the key learnings of day one of the public finance session. And then the key learnings are that the session has reinforced the core principles of good governance, including accountability, transparency, and the rule of law, and that governance is not just about policies, but also about how decisions are implemented in practice, and also about effective governance requiring ethical leadership, fairness, and stakeholder engagement. Going to my next slide, I looked at the expectations versus my reality. My expectations were partially met in that I anticipated more financial governance and budgeting, but then I also acknowledged that although I had access to the study material and so forth, I did not take the opportunity to just, take myself through, even if I had to use AI to say what is day one going to entail. So yeah, my expectations were partially met. You can go to number 2. The key insights of yesterday was, especially for me, the part on equity versus equality. And then I appreciated the example of the NWR restructuring in salaries during COVID, where executives had a salary cut of 25% over 6 months, whereas for the employees it was 10%. Over a shorter period, I could not remember, was it 3 months or what was the shorter period? At NIPAM, we also recently, I think when Dr. Morangi came, we also had a similar exercise where NIPAM is a tier 2 organization, but our salaries, especially for the staff who have joined after, I think, 2018, was paid on tier 2 salary ranges, because our board then was of the opinion that we are not generating enough funds to sustain the salaries that the people who joined when NIPAM was, what's the word? When NIPAM was created, they actually did not even have salary structures and so forth. So they have, we have 3 different salary structures in NIPAM. So when the decision was made by Dr. Morangi, he, for example, first only migrated the staff members in Peterson PAs to see those are now your lower level employees. And I couldn't understand then why he had to do it that way, because in D and up, there are only 6 of us who are affected, who were not on tier 2 salaries. But since I heard that the move of NWR was to protect the vulnerable staff, build trust, and also build the trust from the minister for further funding and so forth, I now understand that although it was only 6 people, the other Ds and ups are already at a favorable side. It must have been the aim of Dr. Morangi to convince the board to approve, because we had the school of thought that we are not making money, we are not making profits. So maybe for him, the approach was to, present something and say, let's first take the vulnerable and then the rest will follow for the next financial year. So Benitez and I in the group that is only, that was patient enough to wait for a year for the migration of what is owed and due to us. So it's coming. It's coming effective 1st April. So at least end of this month we are going to smile to the bank.
Can I become a bodyguard?
Yes, you may. Talita, you may move to the next slide. Areas for improvement overall for me is that governance needs better practical implementation, not just policies. Yes, at most of the employers we have policies, but we fail at implementing. In Namibia, we are also very good at drafting policies and so forth, but it ends up, especially in government, they even print it on nice paper costing a lot of money, but then it ends up at a shelf and it is never implemented. So for me, what needs to be improved is the accountability part. So I would recommend strengthening accountability at all levels, and then organizations must improve responsiveness, and then also alignment between strategy and execution. Next slide, please. Then the proposed change that I am thinking about my workplace is a focus on accountability and responsiveness. I don't know whether you all have noticed, and I think you must have noticed, you've been with us for 3 modules already, with one coming. Talita has facilitated several other workshops and so forth. We have an illness at NIPAM called responsiveness. We went as far as, if you enter our building, you'll see there's customer charter, and then there's even something where we sign commitment to the customer charter. We say we are going to respond to your queries within 3 days. At the moment, it is not always happening. So responsiveness and accountability is something we need to work on. So for me, as an OD specialist who is responsible for performance, for change and those type of things, we really need a culture overhaul. And usually, as Talita has also said, the fish rots from top. So I don't know currently how one would go about implementing change if the change currently is not having the buy-in from all of the people on top. So my goal is to build a culture where accountability is visible and consistent. Perhaps I have problems like 15th is the due date for our reviews, performance reviews. Today is the 14th. My role in the whole process is vetting the reviews, the calculations, the formulas and so forth. I haven't received one single submission to date for me to review. So I know you saw the person coming. So that's a problem, so I need to change that. I think in conclusion, accountability is the foundation of good governance. Without it, trust and performance decline. And I'm committed to driving accountability and improving governance practices in my organization. I thank you.
Thank you.